Everyone wants to be the best presenter they can be. In the next 10 minutes, I'll cover the basics every speaker should know and master. For many people, speaking in front of an audience can be a terrifying experience, but there are ways to lessen that fear, starting with, first, stay relaxed. And you may ask, how can I stay relaxed when I'm so nervous? Do what stage actor Yul Brynner did before more than 10,000 performances of Anna and the King on Broadway. He used isometric exercises. He went to the back of the stage and pressed up against the wall as hard as he could. By tensing all of his muscles, he was able to release the tension, nervousness once he let go. You can do this in your seat by grasping your fingers together in your lap and tensing every muscle in your body. Once you let go, all of the tension will go away. You may still experience some nervousness, but not nearly as much as you did before the exercise. Second, be poised, natural, confident, and sincere. As Shakespeare said, assume a virtue if you have it not. Or as Weight Watchers says, fake it until you make it. Pretend to be, and you will be. Every year at the University of Virginia, a hypnotist would do a show on campus. He'd pick the shyest looking student in the audience, bring him up on stage, whisper in his ear, and the kid would go to the front of the stage and welcome the crowd in a loud, confident manner. Everybody thought he had been hypnotized. Actually, all the hypnotist had whispered in his ear was, stand up straight, shoulders back, head high, and speak in a loud voice. That's it. You too can appear poised, natural, and confident, even if you don't feel that way. Third, know the purpose of your talk. Are you there to entertain? Are you there to inform? Or are you there to persuade? There are other variations of purposes, but these are the great catch-alls. For example, if you were speaking about the Olympics, if your purpose were to entertain, you would talk about Matt Lauer and Al Roker doing their gymnastic dance with the hoops and the ribbons. If your purpose were to inform, you may discuss how the athletes are financed. Were you there to persuade? You may attempt to convince your audience to support the sponsor of a particular athlete. Staying on purpose keeps you focused. Fourth, have a strong opening. I'm often asked if a speech should be memorized. My response is an emphatic no, except for 2 sentences, your opening line and your closing line. If you're nervous, you may forget what you intend to say or start off in the wrong place. If, however, you know your opening sentence, you will have had time to prepare a line to catch the audience's attention. You could start with a compliment such as, I'm delighted to be here and share in the celebration of whatever. Even in a large audience, people like having their group complimented. After all, they're part of it. You want to get their attention immediately. Fifth, cover no more than 3 points. If your audience walks away remembering 2 of your 3 points, you've done a great job. The key to each point is the evidence you use to support it. For example, your point may be don't drive and drink. However, if you use statistics such as 50,000 people die every year due to highway accidents, and as many as killed in the Vietnam War, and 50% are due to drinking and driving. That's a statistic and an analogy. Add the Federal Commissioner of Highways said to the above, and you have the testimony of an expert. But the best of the best evidence is a story. People love stories. If the point in your talk is on human relations is to accept others, tell a moving story to prove your point. The same with know your strengths and love one another. Although the last one is where a picture is worth 1,000 words. Millions of people have so enjoyed the video of the two men who raised a lion, then let him loose in the wild, came back, found him, and the lion hugged them. I'm sure you've seen it on YouTube. Sixth, check the impact on your audience. The audience mirrors you. You can easily read your audience. You can see by their posture, their facial expressions, the tension, the tenseness and relaxation of their bodies, how they're receiving your talk. If they're smiling and that response is appropriate to your talk, you're on target. If, however, you see the bored or dazed look, you may have to change your tactics, move about, raise the pitch of your voice, pause. Silence is really deafening and will awaken almost anyone. Be aware and work until you get the response you desire. Seventh, have a strong close. Have the audience remember your talk. I've sometimes listened to talks and wondered, are you finished? Make sure your audience knows. Be direct in stating what you want them to do or learn or apply, either through summarizing your main points or giving a recap summation. I like ending with an appropriate poem or quote. For example, after the commencement address I gave to high school graduates, I ended a poem called "The World Has Need of You." Remember, the second line I recommend you memorize is your closing line. Make it strong. Make it lead immediately to applause. I'm reminded of two great speakers, ancient speakers. One was a Roman statesman, Cicero, who upon completing his talk, people would say, "What a great speaker." The second, the Greek tyrant, Diogenes, who when he finished his talk would say, "Let's go to war." Now, which speaker do you want to be? Or do you want to be a combination of both? Eighth, most importantly, have fun. Your dog will still love you no matter what. Have fun, and that transmits itself even on a serious topic. Enjoy what you're doing. The audience will respond. And last, know that you have made a difference. If you were asked to be the speaker, you no doubt earned the right to give that talk. Someone heard something that will impact their lives in some way. That's your real reward. The feeling not only that you've done it, but that you've made a difference. Last, teach this course to others. All of the things I've taught in my career, by far, this is the most rewarding. To see people get up, barely able to say their names, and 14 weeks later, you can't help but notice the transformation, which, by the way, is not the result of information presented, but everything being based on positives. No matter how bad a speaker is, there's something redeeming about the presentation. And that's what the instructor looks for and finds, not the negatives, only the positives. Each positive is like a building block of confidence bestowed upon the speaker and on which the speaker can build. 14 weeks later, and you've got a confident speaker in his own personality, doing it her own way. Check out the testimonials on Coachability.com site. Click on seminars and scroll down to more testimonials. One thing I've not mentioned is how lucrative teaching this program is. If you charge what SAT courses charge, around $500 for 14 weeks, and have 20 students, you've earned $10,000. Not bad for doing something I know you'll love. Think about it. Another stream of revenue, sharing your knowledge on how to be a confident speaker. Thank you.